hello, 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 hello. Hope you're well. Hope you're slow. Hope you're baby. Hope you're gravy, 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 gravy. Hope you're gravy, gravy, gravy. I'm currently going through chapter 3 of my book, trying to tighten it up. I thought this particular chapter would be easier to edit than it currently is. Maybe I'm just being hypercritical, but I don't know. I'm just like, let me take this slow, because I was meant to do the whole thing yesterday, and yesterday I was like, I'm gonna do chapter 3 and chapter 4. It's like I didn't finish chapter 3 yesterday. Today I'm just gonna dedicate the whole day to chapter 3. Just because I want to get it right. It's a lot of action in chapter 3. So you just want to, with action, pacing is everything. You just want to make sure everything is paced properly and that your descriptions are tight, all that sort of stuff, you know. So I don't want to rush, and then, because you know, I'm aware that people are waiting and like, you know, when's this thing coming out? And maybe it can seem like, I don't know, like I'm taking too long and the book might never come out or something. I promise you, it's like I'm very, very close to the end, but I have to be careful. This has to be done properly, because I think if I do this properly, I really do think this could be a very special narrative. So I've definitely improved since I've begun the whole process, since I began the whole process. And because I'm aware of things now that I wasn't aware of when I started, I'm just noticing flaws in the earlier chapters, you know? Even because this has been a very iterative process. So there's been multiple versions of this story. So this version, the first draft of this version, I wrote that. Then I had to rewrite the first segment of the first draft and doubled it in length. So this one's like 120,000 words. And even like in this rewriting process, as I'm now editing this rewritten work, the early chapters of this rewritten work, I'm like, okay, I'm noticing like I could have done that better, I could have done that better. So this is like the final polishing phase, where you're just making sure that it's presentable. Part of me is just like, okay, I've been saying this thing needs to come out. I've been saying I'm writing this thing. So I'm almost done. So part of me just wants to be like, to just quickly just put it out so people can read it. But I'm like, I want this to be something like you know, like makes a good impression on people. So I'm just like resisting the urge to rush. It's like, yeah, I want y'all to enjoy it. But yeah, today chapter 3 is all that we'll see. I might move on to chapter 4 if I finish quickly enough, but I'm not gonna rush it. I'm just pacing myself. we'll see how far I get. Thank you for your continued patience. Yesterday I played Overwatch 2 for the first time. Played Overwatch 2. It was nice, it's fun. I'm not really like a team. I don't like the team shooters, you know. I like games that let you play solo. Like I love the battle royale structure. It's just you just head into a match and everyone fights to the death, and I like that vibe. It's pretty cool. Fortnite is so cool to me. You know, one big difference I noticed between Fortnite and Overwatch. They're very different games, of course, but a big difference I noticed is like I feel like Fortnite feels more fluid. You know, Fortnite, first of all, it's third person. So I just feel like inherently, it just feels like you just get more maneuverability. You can jump around and mantle. There's also gear that you can get that launches you across the map. You can fly and skydive, and you can drive cars. And when you run, you feel fast when you're running. And there's all sorts of boosts you can get to increase the speed of your running, increase the height of your jumping, and Fortnite just feels a lot more fluid and dynamic. And you get obviously it's like with Overwatch, it's matches in different like arenas, different like levels. So you don't have one big map in Overwatch, right? With Fortnite, it's like a big open world, and you're just finding players within that world to fight, right? And the map shrinks, the shrinking spawn. I like that vibe, that structure, the Fortnite way of doing things. It just appeals to me more. Because each encounter you have on that, even though it's one map, and that's the same map you're playing constantly, each encounter feels different because all sorts of crazy stuff is always happening. You know, like with Overwatch, everyone gets there's so many different characters for you to choose from, and you can customize the characters, and like I think you can upgrade them and do all sorts of. So you know, there's a whole bunch of customizability as it pertains to your playstyle, even within one character, right? And then there's multiple characters. So that's how Overwatch does it, and I can see why that would appeal to people. I like Fortnite's approach where it's like everyone gets the same quote unquote build. It's just a character, and you can put different skins, but it's the same type of character, right? And where the variability comes in, where the variation comes in is the different weapons scattered across the world, and the different grades of weapons. So you can get common, uncommon, rare, epic, and then legendary, and then mythic. I think mythic is the final one, right? Each of them being a different strength level, damage level. So, and there's a good amount of weapon variation, so like you can really like collect the weapons you want and have your own build and have your own playstyle. I like Fortnite more. It just appeals to my playstyle more. But I can see why people like Overwatch. It has its own aesthetic, it has its own vibe. Maybe if I played more, it might become more appealing. But I just think the structure for me is because I played Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals is a very similar structure, that team-based kind of gameplay and whatnot. And you know, selecting different characters and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, it wasn't for me. maybe it's also about finding your character, because these characters are very different to each other in terms of how they perform. So maybe if you find a character that suits your playstyle, you'll have more fun. Maybe that's also part of it. But I couldn't be bothered to go through all the characters and test them out and whatnot and see if they're interesting. I don't know. But shout out to Overwatch, of course. I know a lot of people who enjoy playing that. I was watching an ASMR artist, what's her name? She'd uploaded a video just talking about playing Overwatch and stuff. And that's actually what made me check it out. I was like, let me try it. Let me see, what was the channel name? Shout the person out. Let me go to YouTube history. Pear ASMR. Pear ASMR. Pear as in the fruit. Pear ASMR. I think at some point in her video she talked about Overwatch and how she's enjoying it. So I was like, let me check it out actually, because I've been hearing people talk about Overwatch. I've never tried it. Another one I haven't tried is Apex Legends. I might have to try that out as well, see if I like that. Apex. What, did I say Apex? Apex Legends. Apex Legends. Is that also team-based as well? Yeah, I'm not a fan of the team-based gameplay. I like going in solo, usually. Usually. If you're playing with friends, like, you know, you got the voice chat on, whatnot, I think that can be fun, I think. I've tried it a few times before. It's okay. I generally speaking, like playing solo. But I am open to playing in a squad if the vibes are right. The vibes are right. I downloaded Call of Duty Warzone. I've never played Warzone. I assumed you had to buy it. I didn't know it was free to play, so I was like, I'm not forking out because Call of Duty is expensive and there's always a new one coming out. I'm like, I'm not doing it. There's always a new Call of Duty, and I just felt like I'm not willing to buy a new one every time just to keep up with everyone. But apparently Warzone is free. It's so confusing because I was going through the PlayStation app on my phone, and if you want to get Warzone, you have to go onto. So I just went onto one of the Call of Duty games, and then you still like go to the option where it shows you different versions of the game, because you know how a game like have like the PS4 version, PS5 version, deluxe version, this version, that version. So you go to the different versions, and at the bottom of all those versions is Warzone, and then it says free. I'm like, why not just have Warzone as its own game? So that, because when you search Warzone on the PlayStation app, it doesn't pop up. It just shows you Call of Duty, whichever the latest one is. And if you want to find Warzone, you have to go into the different versions of that Call of Duty game. Let me show you actually what I'm talking about, just so you understand what I'm saying. Because maybe I sound confusing. So this is the PlayStation app. This is a Overwatch 2. It says I played 1 hour yesterday. Okay, so I'm gonna type Warzone here. Let me take Call of Duty Warzone. So I typed Call of Duty Warzone. As you can see, it doesn't pop up. It shows you Call of Duty, and then Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Vanguard. I don't know what that is. So then you tap on Call of Duty, the first option that popped up, Why is this thing saying not enough storage? Oh my days, I was trying to download it last night. I guess it didn't download because I don't have enough storage. I have to delete some stuff. So you go here to select a different version, and then you go to you go all the way to the bottom. Wait, what? Oh no, it's at the top here because I already downloaded it. It was at the bottom when I saw it, but as you can see, it's got all these different versions, and then here's Call of Duty Warzone. It's reversed. It's mirrored. It's mirrored when I'm looking at it here. I don't know if it's mirrored for you, but yeah, Call of Duty Warzone. It's very confusing, bro. It's a very confusing way of doing that. Just like have it show up, and let me see if it does it for the other ones as well. So yeah, you have to. So I guess it also depends on. So confusing. Anyway, let's not get sidetracked. I was hoping that I'll end this video and then maybe play. No, we have to eat breakfast first. That's crazy. I was thinking of end the video and then play Call of Duty afterwards, but I'm like, nah. I'm gonna end the video, eat food, and then play Call of Duty. Give it a shot. It's been many years since I've played Call of Duty. Many. I used to play it in high school with my friends, but now I just kind of stopped playing after high school because I only used to play with my friends. I'll play the campaign as well, like the OG Modern Warfare on Xbox 360, Modern Warfare 1, 2, 3 on the 360, not these new ones. I play the campaigns for the OG Modern Warfare. I think I played the campaign for Black Ops. I played the campaign for Battlefield 3. This was back in high school, back in the Dizzo. But ever since then, I haven't really touched Call of Duty, to be honest. Because it became like very multiplayer focused. Like that's always been a component, of course. But they just said they don't care about the campaign anymore. You know, they've had campaigns in these games, but the campaigns are just not what they used to be. You can see that the focus has just really been like, okay, let's just put everything into multiplayer. The campaigns are just like afterthoughts, so they're not good at all compared to the old ones, at least. Like the campaigns for the older games were legendary, dude. Like they really put a lot of effort into like compelling single player campaigns, and that's wowed by the games for the single player campaigns. And you know, then you can play with your friends, go to your friend's house, and play. But yeah, after high school, I just had no reason to play Call of Duty anymore. So this is going to be the first time in a very, very, very long time that I'm playing Call of Duty. I hear they have a Battle Royale mode, which is exciting. So if they can allow me to just play on my ones in a Battle Royale structure, I might have a new game that I'm super into. Will it replace Fortnite? Probably not. We'll see. I'm pretty active with Fortnite, to be honest. It appeals to my tastes. I've gotten decent at it, and you know, I like how Fortnite is operating. But we'll see. Warzone could be my new thing. I've heard a lot of good things. People talking about how obsessed they are with Warzone. I'll give it a shot. I'll let you know. But I think Battle Royale is my thing. Like that's Battle Royale structure. I think PUBG wasn't PUBG the first Battle Royale game? Multiplayer game? Like, am I right about that? That's what I heard. I heard they started it, and then Fortnite based its model on that, and then the Battle Royale thing just took off from there. I'm a big fan of Battle Royale, to be honest. any game that is Battle Royale, I might give it a shot. I might seriously consider it. By the way, one thing I was thinking about was with YouTube, with these videos, a big thing that was kind of draining me was worrying a ton about views. And you know, I think I'm making the decision that because I feel like I have people that watch consistently, regardless, you know, which I'm grateful for, and I don't want to take that for granted that there are people who show up consistently to watch, because I can count on a certain amount of people to show up and watch my videos. I don't really want to focus as much on like how can I maximize my views anymore, because I was doing that a lot, and I've had like just it's so tiring, man. Worrying about your thumbnail, worrying about your titles, worrying about like what style of video. You know, you've seen me switch it up, you've seen me try things that are out of the norm. For example, like maybe like some shaving stuff, or me changing the setup, putting the camera over there, doing this, doing that. Sometimes I might do a random role play, like, and that'll just be me trying to see like what can I get more views from. Stressing about like, okay, what title? I have to switch up the title. I have to come up with some creative, ridiculous title to draw attention, yada yada yada. Stressing like, okay, this thumbnail works, so therefore I need to like use this thumbnail again. Going through your old thumbnail, seeing which video had a thumbnail that like attracted a lot of views, so on and so forth, and you're like trying to replicate that. It's exhausting. Now I'm just more like, okay, you know what? I want to have the freedom to just press record, do whatever I want to do, and then put the video out. Just call it ASMR Fast Aggressive. I'm like with this video, ASMR Fast Aggressive brushing. And then just leave it at that. You know, the way I am, I have a very like silly sense of humor. So every now and then, I just like to add some tag, some little funny thing. Like yesterday, I said like, what did I say? Fast aggressive ASMR gives you a tingle immunity CT, which is like concussion, whatever. And so I might have little things like that just to add a little humor to my titles. But for the most part, I don't want to stress myself out just thinking like, what do I need to do to attract more views. I think it's okay if I remain at this 1,000 to 2,000 view range for however long. Hopefully things pick up, hopefully. But what I don't want to do is stress myself out trying to maximize views and whatnot. Because, you know, you see other channels growing so quickly and you're like, okay, what are they getting right and what am I getting wrong? But I'm like, okay, I just want to be able to be myself and do what I want to do. Even if, let's say I figure out the quote-unquote secret. I don't think there is a secret. I think everyone's just doing what works for them, right? But let's say I do figure out the quote-unquote secret, because, you know, also in the comments, people always have all sorts of suggestions, like, this is what you need to do to grow your channel. Let's say I figure it out and I know what I need to do. It's like, do I want to do that, though? I'd love, and this is the honest answer, I'd love if I could just film and do my triggers, put out the video, and that's just what I do. I don't want to think about these other things, man. I don't care. So I just need to stop, man. I just need to stop worrying about views so much. It's so draining, man. It really is. Oh my god. Stress. stressing. Like, you really get stressed because you're like, oh my gosh, this video is not performing well. Oh no. Because YouTube has that. Let me show you. Let me show you what it looks like. I don't know if I've ever shown you this before. Getting a peek behind the curtain, I guess. I don't want to show you my... but anyway, so as you can see, this is my latest video. It says 4 out of 10, ranked 4 out of 10. So for the past, so out of the 10 videos I've uploaded, my last 10 videos, this is number 4 in terms of performance. My latest video is number 4 in terms of performance out of the last 10 videos I put out. In terms of views and stuff. So if you tap on that thing, it shows you the rankings. It shows you at this point. So it says first 15 hours, 8 minutes. It shows you where the other videos were in their first 15 hours and 8 minutes. So number 1 was at 656 views in 15 hours and 8 minutes. So this latest one, number 4, is at 423 views in 15 hours and 8 minutes. Which is, it's decent for me. And let's say I've had videos that like have crossed 100,000 views, right? But that's crazy. Let's be more modest. Let's say like I've got videos that have been like 10,000 views, around that range. So let's say you're getting used to like these very high view count videos, and then you put out a video that's like 2,000 views, 1,000 views. You're gonna be stressed. You're gonna be, oh my gosh, no. Like, how do I get it back to 10K? All that sort of stuff. I don't want to deal with all that. I just want to put out my videos. I don't want to be like trying to chase a high. Guys, it's just, people don't understand how exhausting it is, stressing yourself out about stuff like that. But you know what? Part of the problem is you check your stats so much, refresh. I need to stop going on the YouTube Studio app. Always checking my stats. That's one of the problems. But yeah, now that I've come back from this break, I've gotten perspective in terms of what this channel means to me and what I'm trying to achieve with this channel. And I think more than anything, it's important that I'm able to be myself, have fun, and just relax. This shouldn't be a burden to me. So I need to just push that stuff to the side. I don't care. Anywho, let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you for this individual watching this right now. Thank you for making them whole, unique, and guiding them apart towards peace, prosperity, and purpose. Thank you for blessing this person with wonderful people in life. Love them, take care of them, bring the absolute best out of them. Thank you for maintaining the ones that are there to do the same thing. Thank you for blessing this person with love and marriage and sustaining that love and marriage and making for every happy. Thank you for blessing this person with a spirit of gratitude so they can give thanks for all the wonderful things in your life. While giving thanks, they can find peace, contentment, and attract even more blessings. Let your presence be found in this person's life, so you with God, that you real, that you love them, may always be there for them, good health, all life, and happiness over this person, and really care about your mind, and pray in Jesus' name, we pray, amen.